Welcome back to the channel. My name is Chuck. This is Hardly Homesteading. Today, I am grateful for all of the people who took advantage of my kindness over the years. They taught me a lot of hard life lessons that hopefully I can relay to my son to save him the pain of some of the hardships that I myself experienced. So, it's kind of a tough thing to say out loud. You know, you hold a lot of resentment towards people like that. But I think that is something that I need to let go of. And I should really be grateful towards them because, you know, they really helped me see how the world really works. I used to be really naive when I was younger. And I really wanted to help people out, everybody that I saw everywhere. And the vast majority of those people were just taking advantage of me. So, you know, hopefully I can protect my son from that a little bit. I realize that he needs to learn some hard life lessons himself. And I think he will, regardless of what I teach him. But I think he would be better off if I set him on the right foot out the door. So, one thing that makes me happy is a campfire on a cool night. Like last night, we had a campfire. And it was all right. So, welcome back to the channel. If this is the first time you're here, please head over and hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit the little bell so you get notifications for all the videos we put out. Today I'm going to head over to Lowe's and pick up some supplies. I'm going to see if I can put a dent in all the worm beds. I'm calling them micro worm towers or micro worm bins. It's not a super common thing. There are some videos on YouTube. That's where I got the idea. I can put the link in the description below. But we're going to work on that. One thing that I did want to mention is that I designed some t-shirts for the channel. I thought they were kind of clever. The only reason I did it in the first place is because I suddenly just got this idea of a t-shirt idea spontaneously hit me of like Ralph from The Simpsons. You know, he's got like his finger in his nose and it says "I'm a homesteader." So I made some t-shirts that have that on the back and they just say Hardly Homesteading. There's a couple of them. One says Hardly Homesteading real big on the front and that image on the back, and then there's some that just have it small over the pocket. Kind of wanted to give people some options, and they come in a bunch of different colors and basic t-shirt, tri-blend, comfort tee, depending how much you want to spend or whatever, I guess. I'm thinking that in some of my upcoming videos I'm going to give away some t-shirts. I haven't really decided what the stipulations for that's going to be. Might hide something in the video, or you know, do something so you guys can win a t-shirt if you're interested. You know, but if you'd like to support the channel, go down in the description below and hit the link and go check out the t-shirts and consider buying one. Besides that, I think that's all we got going on. Remember to think about what you're grateful for every day, and stuff that makes you happy. You should think about it all the time, but at least, you know, start your day off right and think about it in the morning. And I think that'll put you on the right foot forward. I think it's helping me out a little bit. So with all of that said, remember, diligence is the mother of good luck, and I want to thank you for watching the video. Alright, so I just got out of Lowe's after what felt like an eternity. Basically what I really learned from this experience is that everything is trying to murder you. All the products we use are all leaching chemicals and are terrible for us, and they all cause cancer and reproductive harm and all this stuff. Pretty much can't find anything that doesn't have a warning label on it. And so what I was planning on doing was using the PVC pipe to build the worm farm, the micro worm towers, but pretty much I learned that PVC is terrible for you. It leaches chemicals and causes cancer and reproductive harm and all this stuff. So instead I decided the best option would be to use wood. So I decided I'm going to build these wood towers. I'm going to try to do this. As far as I've seen on YouTube and stuff, everybody else uses PVC. And I'm trying, I mean, that's like the whole reason to do organic growing on your own, is so you can have the healthiest food possible. So it seems counterproductive, even though I realize that a lot of my food is planted in plastic barrels, which probably still has the same stuff in it, which isn't really something that I thought about before. But to try to minimize that as much as possible, I'm going to use some untreated wood, some spruce or fir or something. Forget which exactly it was, but it's untreated. It's not going to last very long. It's going to rot. But basically we'll build these about 12-14 inch tall wood box towers, drill some holes in it just like we did before, and I'll have to fashion a little lid on it or something. I don't know, but we'll figure it out. This is what I'm going to try to do. I also picked up some more peat moss, because I need to start gathering up everything to fill in that front bed there. But yep, so that's where we are. All right, so here we go. We got the final product here. This is the Hardly Homesteading worm tower, or micro worm bin, or whatever you want to call it. How about the Hardly Homesteading Worm Hotel? If you want to learn how I made this, if you want to make one yourself, stay tuned. I have step-by-step instructions coming up in the video. I'll show you exactly everything that I used to build it. Though there's a material list down in the description below that I'll tell you everything you need, and watch the video to find out how to do it. All right, so I went out and measured for my bed, and about 16 inches is what seems ideal for a height for mine. It might be different for yours, but so the first thing we're going to do is just cut 4 16-inch lengths from these. What I'm using are 1x6 untreated, 1x6 untreated. They're spruce or fir, I can't remember which. That was the cheapest untreated wood that they had. But even, like I mentioned earlier, even this wood, it comes with Proposition 65 warning, which is for California, but it would apply to everywhere. But lumber falls under that for a different reason than the PVC pipe does. This falls under the Prop 65 because sawdust is a lung irritant. PVC pipe is because it leaches chemicals and stuff. So if the lumber wasn't so expensive right now, I would have gotten cedar, because cedar doesn't rot as quickly as other things. This will rot, but it'll break down. The worms can eat it, and that's fine. I suppose it might last a couple years. It was relatively inexpensive, so that's the way that I went. So 1x6 white wood. All right, and so we're going to cut these in 16-inch lengths. Alright, so now that I got the pieces cut, now I'm just going to attach them together. Just using a power drill. So, like I've said a billion times in my videos, I'm not a carpenter. There's probably a billion ways to do this. Maybe there's one way. I don't know. But this is how we're doing it. I'm just using a couple of these corner clamps I got from Harbor Freight. I thought they were kind of expensive, to be honest. They were on sale and they're Chinese and cheap made, but I would recommend using some type of corner clamp. Basically what we're going to do is just attach one on the bottom, attach one on the top, shoot a couple screws in. Probably just one on the, well, I'm going to use a pilot. I'm going to drill a pilot hole. And then I'm going to shoot a couple screws in on each side. And then that would be the next step. So for the screws that we used, I ended up getting these 1-inch screws, which like I was saying before, everything is trying to kill you. You know, there's warnings on everything, but these are coated and they're supposed to not leach like chemicals into the wood or whatever. They still might be bad for you. They still might do something. I don't know. I did have stainless steel screws in my hand and I was thinking about getting those, and then I saw these and this is what I'm going to go with. So if you want to use what I used, this is what it is here. These little tiny expensive packs of screws. Alright, so all of that seemed to work. I mean, seems pretty solid to me. So I'm just going to repeat that process a couple more times. And that should be pretty much it for construction. Okay, so we got the basic structure put together there. I chose to do it like this, but you could have also put these on the inside. But one thing that I did realize is that what I should have done is drill all the wormholes in it before I assembled it. So once you got your 4 pieces cut, you could just stack them up and use I don't know where my drill bit is right now, but a large drill bit about 1/2 inch, and yeah, like this one. And you have them all stacked up, clamp them together, and just shoot all the wormholes into it while it's like that. Just so it would be a lot easier and quicker. You can do it all at the same time. Because now what I'm gonna have to do is just do one at a time. So, individually. Yeah. So, but that being said, the next thing I'm going to do is drill the wormholes in here, and what you're going to do is just do about 6 to 7 inches from the bottom. Which side you call the bottom is up to you. I suppose this is what I'm going to use as the bottom, but it really doesn't make any difference. So,
let's get to it.
Yeah, so let's see, where's my tape measure? So this is 6 inches here, Yeah, I don't know. I guess about 7 inches. I'll put down in the description below a material list that you'll need for all of this. You know, I did a lot of guessing pretty much, and you know, I just grabbed whatever I thought at the store would work. You know, if I was gonna go and buy stuff again, I would get 1 1/4 inch screws. I used inch screws, and they do work, but they're not going into the other piece of wood very far. And you know, if we're trying to make this as least caustic as possible, you're not going to use any wood glue on it, because who the hell knows what's in wood glue. So yep, so let's drill some holes in here. I marked out on the board where 7 inches is. Anywhere 6 to 7 inches, I mean, it really probably doesn't matter. The worms are going to find their way in one way or another. The box itself is edible for the worms, so yeah, so it really doesn't matter. But I know when they on the PVC pipe videos, they estimate about 6 inches, so that'll give you something to work with. Also, this is just the biggest drill bit that I have. You know, like 1 inch or something like that might actually work, be a little bit bigger. It might, you know, work a little bit better, but I think this, either way, I think this is fine. Alright, so now that we got the holes drilled into it here, I think these are good enough. If you're going to do it, I'd recommend using like a 3/4 drill bit, or maybe a whole inch or something. I think, I mean, worms are tiny. They'll find their way in if they want to get in there, so this is probably good enough. But as you can see, we have holes all around the bottom of it. That part will be under the ground. Now, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a lid for it. That way insects can't get in there with the food scraps that we put in it, and you know, birds can't get in there and eat the worms or anything like that. I've never done this before, working on the fly, and so but I have a pretty solid idea, and so we're gonna try it out, and if it works, it works, and I'll tell you how to do it. Okay, so the first thing I did, I took the I took the rest of the board that we cut our initial pieces from, and I sat my worm bin up on there, and I measured a piece that would fit exactly in this middle piece here. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that, and then the other piece that you'll need is a piece that's exactly the size of the outside of this. So you just take your box here on the first one, and you can just line it up, stick your arm in there and mark it, and then on the next one, obviously, you're just going to turn it the other way, line it up to your mark,
And mark it.
leave it a little bit. I would leave a little bit extra room. Leave a little bit extra room just in case you mess up anything. Mark it, and we'll cut those two pieces. Alright, so your, I just marked it bottom. Probably don't really have to do that, but. Alright, so your first piece, it should fit right here, should be basically the exact same size as the inside of the box. And this is the other piece, and this should be almost exactly the same size as the outside of the box.
Yeah, looks pretty good.
Pretty good. I can trim just a tiny bit off. I did leave like a little bit of excess just for leaving room for error. All right, so what you want to do now is you're going to attach these two pieces together. Okay, and in order to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to put this down here, put your box on top, line it up as best as you can. Take your carpenter's pencil or whatever marking device you have.
Utensil.
Marking utensil. And just go down and mark the inside of the box.
Best as you can.
Then you're just going to take the centerpiece and put it right in there.
And screw them.
And then we're going to shoot some screws in it. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put, I might only do 2 screws, or maybe I'll put 1 in each corner, because what we have to do is drill, we're going to drill a whole bunch of very small holes through this to allow in air and moisture. Mostly just air, because you can always take it off and put a little bit of water in it. But all right, so now we need the drill. Make sure you drill some pilot holes. This white wood is extremely soft. I think it'll split pretty easily.
It's very soft. What did you see? I put a tiny mark in it somehow.
Alright, and now the lid should fit right on here, just like that. Perfect. Pretty close to perfect. Nothing I do is perfect. Alright. So the very final step to making the Hardly Homesteading micro worm bin is to drill some holes to the top for ventilation. I'm not 100% sure the size of this. I'm guessing it's around a quarter inch, 1/8 inch drill bit, something like that will work. Nothing too crazy, or nothing too big, doesn't have to be too small, whatever. Just use your best judgment, I guess. I think this will work. So I'm basically just going to drill as many holes as possible. I guess I'll do it from the bottom. Alright, there we go. There it is.
There she be.
One complete Hardly Homesteading micro worm tower. All wood. As eco-friendly as I think I could possibly get. There's Dylan's worm box, worm tower, worm hotel.
Worm motel.
I think that's what we're going with. Hardly Homesteading worm motel.
Motel or hotel?
Let's go with motel, it's easier. Turn your drill sideways so you can go at a straight angle.
There's the worm motel.
Cinch much further. Alright, now you gotta build the lid.
The lid.
No. No.
Yeah.
No. First, right here, because that'll be the top. Okay. Now, I'm gonna go like this. Turn it this way. Take it right to that one. So like right up there. Okay. Now we do. You sure you got it where you want it? You want to bring it, you want the blade to go in between that gap right there.
Yep.
About right there. Okay, lock it down. Okay, it's live. Move your hand. Okay. Oh,
Look what you've done.
it smells good. It smells like sap.
Yeah. Well, at least we have this side stuff.
Yeah. Watch where you're putting your hand. Pretty good. Okay. There you go. It is a little smaller, but it should. As long as the top and bottom. Yep. So once you got it there, clamp it down first. Bring it over to the edge of the table. Very good job. But wait, there's more. Today I'm just grateful for the warm weather, and that in and of itself makes me happy. Today we are going to put a dent in filling the front garden bed. I'm basically just going to use my compost to supplement it. I think we're going to do 6 cubic yards. Don't know how much that's gonna fill up, but we will we're about to find out. All right, so don't have a wheelbarrow yet, so I'm just gonna have to shovel all this compost onto a tarp and drag it over there. So let's get to it. All right, so what I'm thinking I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna mix my compost in with the existing soil that's all along the bottom, because I'm not 100% sure that my compost is completely broken down. I mean, it's not hot anymore, and since it's not hot, that means worms can move in. So my thinking is that I will mix it in with the existing soil on the bottom. Hopefully worms will move in and start eating it, and you know, naturally produce worm castings for fertilizer. So win-win. Had more compost than I thought. This is the first pile. All right, so the compost actually added a lot of volume to it. I'm thinking that we'll probably have it full with the materials that we have right now. Hopefully we don't have to buy any more. I don't know if you can tell from the time lapse, what I did is just mixed up the compost into the existing soil, which is sort of rocky, sandy. I try to get out the big rocks, but I'm not sure. I think some rocks in there help it drain, but we're gonna mix up a batch of mels mix and start mixing it in. So unfortunately, one batch of mels mix wasn't enough to fill it up, but I think 2 should do it. And had I not had all that compost, I probably would have needed double the amount of mels mix. So we're gonna put together another batch of mels mix and put down some straw, throw in the worm bins, and we'll be done. Alright, so we finally got the bed in the front filled. It only took 2 batches of mels mix and my compost. Probably had a compost is probably about the same volume as 1 batch of mels mix, maybe a little bit more. But now that we got it full, we're going to install our worm motels. I decided I'm going to put 4 in this bed up here, so about every 8 to 9 feet. These joints is what is going to be my marker for the worm motel. So we got 4 joints, so right there is where I'm going to put each worm motel. Okay, so what we're gonna do to install the worm motel is just dig out a little hole right here next to the joint.
Put it in.
You mainly just want your holes to be under the dirt. If you want to put it down a little bit deeper, that's fine too. And then I'm not gonna fill it up today, obviously, because we're not ready to put the worms out yet. But when you are ready, you're just going to put your worms and your bedding in there, and then as you produce food scraps, you just throw your food scraps in there. Keep the lid on it. Worms will move in and out of it and spread worm castings in your garden. Yep, that looks pretty good to me.
Yes. Pack her in. Alright, so now we finished our front bed, and we've already put all the straw in. The worm motels are, and just have to make some more, and then we'll be finished. Wait a little bit, then plant the plants.
Alright, so that's going to be it for this video. If you got any value out of this, please make sure you hit the like button. Go check out our t-shirts. The link is in the description below. Remember to think about what you are grateful for, things that make you happy. I want to thank you for watching this video. If you haven't done so already, go and subscribe and make sure you hit the little bell so you get notifications for all the videos we put out. Again, I want to thank you for watching. Remember, diligence is the mother of good luck.